You ever look at a Caribbean parent living abroad and wonder, how are they still standing? Behind the smile, behind the strong work ethic, behind the remittances and WhatsApp video calls, there's a pain, a silent one, a weight they carry every single day, and the world doesn't even see it. Well, let's talk about the silent pain Caribbean parents carry abroad, because it's time we finally acknowledge what's been hidden in plain sight. Every Caribbean parent who left home to start over life abroad didn't do it on a whim. They did it for something way bigger than themselves. Their children, their families, a better future. They left behind everything they knew. The sunshine, the community, the culture, the mango tree in the backyard, their mother's Sunday lunch, all to chase an idea. A promise of opportunities in countries where everything moves fast and nobody waits for you to catch up. But nobody told you that in chasing that dream, you had to bury pieces of yourselves. Now let's talk about the grind, the hustle. Caribbean parents abroad just don't work hard. They work like their life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. 2, sometimes 3 jobs, night shifts, weekend shifts, 12-hour days standing on their feet in cold warehouses, or pushing through as personal support workers, bus drivers, cleaners, anything to keep the lights on. You see them come home with aching feet, swollen ankles, barely time to eat, but they don't complain. They just ask, "You eat already?" before getting ready to go back out there again. And while they're doing all that, they're also trying to raise children in a culture that doesn't understand them. Trying to teach respect, discipline, culture, while being told by systems and schools that their way is too harsh, is too old-fashioned. So what do? They silence themselves. They carry the weight quietly. Here's the part we don't often talk about. Many Caribbean parents abroad are constantly in a financial juggling act. Bills back home, bills in the new country, school fees, groceries, sending barrels, paying for funerals, building a house they might never live in. And the irony? Even when they're making way more money than they could back home, it's still not enough, because the cost of living is high and the cost of being the one who actually made it is higher. They live in modest apartments so that everyone else in the family can actually have better. They wear the same winter coat for 5 years while making sure that their children have the latest school supplies. They go without to make sure that their loved ones back home don't suffer. But that comes at a price, emotional burnout, and most people never talk about it. Nobody talks about the isolation. Abroad, everything is go, go, go. Neighbors don't say good morning. There's no random lime on a veranda. No music from across the street. No auntie dropping by uninvited with breadfruit and saltfish. It's just silence. And in that silence, many Caribbean parents cry. Alone. Not because they're weak, but because they are human. They smile on video calls. They say, "Me good man, me there," even when their hearts are breaking. Because showing pain feels like failure. And failure, that's not an option. So, they suffer in silence. Every homesick heartbeat buried in responsibilities. Raising Caribbean kids abroad, that's another full-time job. You want your child to say good morning, not what's up. You want them to understand why rice and peas on a Sunday is sacred. You want them to understand where they came from, even if they've never seen the place. But the world they're growing up in is different. Fast-paced, more individualistic, more digital, less village raising a child, and more every man for himself. So Caribbean parents end up doing this dance, trying to hold on to the old ways while teaching their kids to survive in the new world. And it's exhausting. And here's the part that breaks me. A lot of Caribbean parents ask themselves silently, did I lose myself to give everyone else a better life? Because they rarely pursue their own dreams. The nurse who wanted to be a teacher, the mother who really loved painting but gave it up to work overtime, the father who never got to open up that small business because the rent came first. So many quietly mourn the life they could have had while celebrating the life they gave their children. That's not weakness, That's a level of strength the world doesn't know how to measure. But here's what Caribbean parents may not realize. Even though they feel overlooked, even though they carry this silent pain, they are the blueprint, the foundation, the reasons generations are rising. Because their sacrifices build futures. Their love created warriors. Their discipline shapes leaders. And their example gave us everything. That strength, it's unmatched. If you're a Caribbean child raised abroad, listen to me. Your parents didn't just give you a home. They gave you their whole life. The reason you can go to school in peace, the reason you can dream big, the reason you even have this platform to chase opportunities is because they stood in the gap. They cried behind closed doors so you could smile in front of the world. So don't just say thank you. Honor them with your life. Learn about their sacrifices. Ask about their stories. Carry their culture with pride, because one day you'll realize they weren't just parents. They were heroes. So now what? It's time to start talking about the silent pain. To create safe spaces where Caribbean parents abroad can support each other and share their stories and pain without shame. It's time to prioritize mental health, emotional healing, and community support. Because strength isn't just pushing through. It's knowing when to say, I need help too. It's time for the diaspora to stop glamorizing success abroad and start telling the whole truth. Yes, there's opportunity, but it comes with sacrifice. And it's also time to let Caribbean parents know you can still dream. It's never too late to rediscover joy, to laugh again, to rest, and to live, not just survive. This isn't just a trend. This is reality. And it's been happening for decades. And it's still happening now. That's why this story is evergreen. Because every year parents leave home. Every day more people carry this silent pain. And every day, every second, there's someone out there wondering if it was all worth it. And the answer is yes. Not because it was easy, because you made it mean something. You turn your pain into purpose. And your experiences are assets you will travel with forever. And your legacy will live on. It will. If this video touched you in any way, if you're a Caribbean parent abroad or a child raised by one, drop a comment below and tell me, what sacrifices have you witnessed made that people don't talk about? Let's build a space where stories like yours are heard, honored, and never forgotten. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe for more stories about the strength of our Caribbean people. And remember, it's not just the destination, it's the journey. Stay locked in. Blessings.